So we're going to jump back into the testimony of Stephen Bradshaw to the Post Office Horizon IT inquiry, and Mr Ishaq's solicitors have responded with a list of incidents that he has rang up the National Business Support Centre and the Horizon Help Desk with, and Post Office, with the court date looming, are struggling to find records of all of the calls. What's Stephen Bradshaw's take on it? Let's jump into the inquiry.
Could we please look at poll 000-46280? Here we have you chasing up some of the references. If we could look at page 3, please. These are chasing up some of those references that are in Mr Ishaq's defence statement. The bottom email is from you. Sorry, it's from you, and it says... Sorry, is that the final page? Could we go over the page? I think there's one more page. Thank you. Please see below from Steve Bradshaw. That's forwarding your email. Fujitsu advised that a request for the HSD call logs for the branch need to go via our security team into theirs. So it needs to be a conversation between yourselves and Penny Thomas and Andy Dunks. Would it be possible for you to progress this and have the log sent to Steve Bradshaw? And if we go to the page before, we have an email from you that says as follows. I've been speaking with Julie, who tells me that NBSC call logs with the letter H and Fujitsu call logs begin with the letter A. Sorry to be a pain, but can you identify the following reference numbers and what problems they relate to? And if we go to the first page, we see there an email from the Post Office Service Desk saying that they've checked, they've had problems locating those particular references.
Wouldn't it be easier just to search for the FAD code or the branch code and hand over everything to them? Because it could all be relevant, it could all be needed for disclosure, and then presumably they can filter that much smaller list rather than trying to cherry pick out reference by reference. Just something that I think may speed up the process, particularly as time is of the essence here and the court date's looming.
And the email continues, the only remaining alternative is to run all incidents logged at the NBSC for each month of the date ranges, given in the hope that they're listed somewhere. I've been processing your request since 2 o'clock. This email's timed at 4:14, so for 2 hours, 16 minutes this afternoon, and have yet to successfully extract a monthly report due to the volume of calls. So there is obviously a very high number of calls being made to the NBSC during this period. Without further clarification of branch code or the correct dates, this request becomes considerably more complex.
And surely the branch code is something that's going to be easy for them to get hold of, to be able to filter the request. This shouldn't be as hard as it seems to be, I would have thought, from my experience of gathering such logs.
So it seems as though the Post Office themselves are not having much luck in finding these calls. Is that a fair summary?
Well, it indicates that I've done on behalf of what the defence requested and what Martin Smith has instructed me to do, so that I've told me, and then they're struggling because the numbers aren't correct.
And that further work is complicated or complex, as they've described.
Yes, and that would be trying to associate the numbers. If the number's incorrect, you're trying to balance the number out of when with the dates and the number into the call centre.
And
given that time's of the essence, surely you just search for the logs. If there's nothing found for that log, you say nothing found, put the details in for the ones you've got, and happy days. That's what you can do with a request and a short amount of time to turn it around.
Do you remember any conversation that you had with the Horizon Help Desk team?
Normally, everything for Horizon always went through the security team, the casework team. We would not call directly.